Alright everybody, well, time for the final episode of the day, which is Tremors. Ben Turner escapes from prison with assistance sent by Milo Armitage, who also pays him $10 million to steal a prototype of Malcolm Malone's earthquake device. The Arrow tries to teach Roy self-control, using the same technique that Shadow taught him. Oliver mentions that he had to put an arrow in his friend's eye. At the Queen Mansion, Thea learns her mother is going out to dinner with Walter, much to her delight. Moira meets Walter and learns that he is not alone but with a man named Mark Francis. Francis explains that they believe that Sebastian is going to destroy the banks with his campaign. Moira then realizes they want her to run for mayor. Quentin visits Laurel, who insists she is fine, excited for an upcoming job interview with Joanna. Quentin admits he misses his daughter and asks her to have dinner with him, which she eventually agrees to. Oliver is working out of the Arrow Cave when Felicity reveals that Bronze Tiger is broken out, something she learned through hacking Ironhide's prison's records. Oliver tries to get Roy to focus, and Roy suggests going with him. Laura learns that her father wants her to come to an AA meeting with him and gets upset. She storms off despite Quentin's pleas. Oliver then invites Roy to come along with him. They head to Malcolm Malone's house, so Roy knows that Oliver knows his way around, including when they hear a noise coming from the basement garage. As they get to the prototype, Turner spots the Arrow and his new sidekick. As Oliver deals with Turner, Roy takes care of the driver. However, he loses and Turner manages to escape with the device. Oliver returns to the Arrow Cave and fills in Diggle and Felicity on what was stolen. Oliver tells them he had lost Slade and how he wanted to teach Roy. The Arrow tracks down the device and is forced to reveal his identity to Roy in order to get his help in destroying the device. Roy has a friend and tells Thea that she needs to leave town. He won't give her a reason and accidentally grabs her tightly. Roy then rushes off, leaving Thea confused. Laura heads to Joanna at her new law firm, Weatherby & Stone LLP. However, Joanna reveals that Laurel is facing disbarment because of her substance abuse. Despite Joanna's encouragement that they can fight it, Laurel leaves. Aww. Moira and Walter meet again and learns that Walter polled to see if Moira could win the election. Thea walks in and learns that Walter's trying to convince her mother to run for mayor. Thea says that it isn't crazy. Roy tells Oliver he told Thea. Roy then gets upset and they begin to fight. Roy then pushes Oliver and vows to stop Turner. Oliver meets up with Diggle and Felicity in the Arrow Cave and learns that Felicity is still checking for the fingerprint. Diggle tells him that some people are just broken, but Oliver disagrees, believing Roy can still be saved. Thea then calls Oliver, informing him that Laurel's getting drunk at the club. The team takes a look at the cameras and Oliver heads upstairs to talk to Laurel. In a daze, Laurel brushes off Thea's advice for her to go home and reveals she's being disbarred. Oliver finds that Felicity has come upstairs with information. He takes Laurel's car keys while Thea gets her a cab. Turner receives the money from the man and learns that Markovia is the buyer. Oliver shoots at the men and Turner sneaks up on Oliver. Roy shows up and knocks Turner off of Oliver. The man sets off the device and Roy freaks on the man. Oliver reveals up to Roy and asks him for help turning off the bomb. Roy punches into the crate and Oliver throws in an arrow. Roy thanks him for saving the year before, for giving him a purpose. They then shake Oliver declares they are just getting started. Oliver then headed back to Verdun and got patched up by Felicity, fills in Felicity and Diggle on telling Roy. Moira agrees to run for mayor against Sebastian, despite wanting Thea's paternity not to come out. Amanda Waller propositions Turner to commute his sentence in exchange for him joining a squad she is forming. Oliver introduces Roy to Felicity and Diggle in the Arrow Cave, who welcome him into Team Arrow. Laura arrives home drunk and suddenly passes out. She sees Sarah before her eyes close. In flashbacks, Oliver struggles with the guilt of letting Shadow die and tries to stop Slade from destroying Ivo's freighter with Everfire's missile launcher. Oliver begins to try to talk Slade out of killing the ship. Oliver mentions his son and claims Shadow loved him, but in a different way. Slade then begins to shake and Oliver grabs the gun. "What is happening to me?" Slade wonders. Oliver then mentions taking the freighter. Okay then. So now let's take a look at some trivia surrounding this episode. When Amanda Waller visits Bronze Tiger to propose that he join her, she makes a reference to his squad. This is a reference to the Suicide Squad, which Bronze Tiger was a member of in the comics. The Suicide Squad is a team of supervillains who complete high-risk missions for the U.S. government in exchange for reduced sentences. The Suicide Squad would first appear later in the season, in the episode Suicide Squad. Roy wearing a hood in this episode foreshadows him becoming Arsenal in season 3. Felicity says, I'm not trying to Monday morning quarterback here. It's Wednesday. This could be a fourth wall joke, since Arrow airs on Wednesday nights. And now finally, let's take a look at a goof. When Oliver and Roy jump to the ground as the storage container explodes, the corner of them that the actors jump onto in order to avoid injury comes into frame from Colton Haynes hitting it. Boy. So overall, I think this episode is pretty good, and I like the fact that Oliver is trying his best to help Roy despite everything that's going on with him, so yeah. So overall, I give Tremors 4 arrowheads out of 5. Well, anyway, tune in next time as we take the next episode, Heir to the Demon. So, until then, in the words of Oliver Queen, you have failed this city.